watches by chance?
يا محمد
Does anyone ever watches? You have a watch on? Okay, great. Anyone else with a watch on?
يا محمد يا محمد جدي ليش تتعمد
Great, so you have a watch. As loud as you can and like loud. You're making me laugh, so. Okay? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really good. No one else that has a watch? Whenever you want.
ليش يصير تتعمد حبك مرهم لجروحي جروحي برضاك
Don't need that.
يا محمد ويا محمد جدي ليش تتعمد يا محمد ويا محمد
Hi, my name's Aurora, Tabar, and I was going to give a lecture that was entitled Art Performs Life, a lecture about performance that's really about me, that includes one song, 2 dances, and 4 costume changes. But I made that title before I made my lecture, so I have to tell you that all of those things were not included in my lecture. And if you came here to see all of those things, and you feel like you might be ripped off if you don't get all those things, then I wouldn't be offended if you needed to get up and leave now. I also want to mention that I am going to sing a song tonight, and I haven't sang in a really long time in front of people, and I don't do it because I hate doing it, but I wanted to include it in my lecture because I hate it. So even though my lecture has nothing to do with Fleetwood Mac anymore, I'm still going to sing Dreams by Stevie Nicks from the album Rumors. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna sing a song, and I'm gonna ask you guys to close your eyes while I'm singing because I think it'll make me feel better. And then I'm gonna tell you some things about this person, Jack Smith. I'm gonna tell you some things about him, and I'm gonna tell you some things about the things that I made about him. And then, what's your name? Yeah.
Nora.
Nora's gonna read a moon poem. And then Michelle's gonna tell you everything she knows about Hsieh, who's this other artist that I've been thinking about. And then she's gonna ask me some questions, and we're gonna die. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. But who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. So, Jack Smith was a performance artist and a filmmaker, and he started making films in the 60s, and he continued to make films and do performances through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s until his death. I'm sorry, I'm not even looking over here. You haven't even got a chance to see my lipstick, and I'm sorry about that. I've been obsessed with Jack Smith for several years now. And when I first started thinking about, oh, this is too large for me, his life and work, I would give these performative lectures about his life and his work, in which I would attempt to tell people things about his life and work, but really, I would just kind of wander around.
Moon, oh flaming moldy moon, you make horses' assholes shine, and gigantic cocks sprawl on the ground. I want to poke you with my throbbing lobolier.
I think it's lobvillier.
Lob.
I don't know, but I may have made that word up. I don't know.
I'm queer, but don't ask me to live in the shadow cunt of your girlfriend.
If anyone has anything they want to add to what Michelle has to tell everyone about Hsieh, then that would be fine. I'm going to do a dance of the tawdry waste of wealthy manufacturers. Will you do that?
Okay. Hsieh did a series of one-year performances that made him really famous in the art world.
He made a jail in his own
It was
apartment.
the first one. He made a jail in his own apartment, so it was the size of some kind of standard jail cell.
So I just want to say what art could be. Art is one way to live, an energy or power that gives you a way to be.
That seems relevant.
I actually think this is the most famous piece where he and Linda Montano tied themselves together for a year.
This
But they,
is the most
but they
famous
didn't
piece.
touch for 1 year. That was the other thing.
That's why I'm
They
sitting over
didn't
here,
touch,
Jen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then as time progressed, they started communicating in grunts and just, sounds. And then eventually they would just pull on the rope. And then it was only, I think, like a month or so before the experiment was about to end, or the performance was about to end, that they started talking normally again.
I don't really feel like you said very much about Jack Smith.
I didn't. I was feeling really nervous.
I was trying to remember, how we even started talking about Jack Smith. Why?
I
How
remember.
did that start, and why were we interested in his work in the first place?
And the whole performance is actually called Roy Cohen, Jack Smith, and it's this performance that he did. The first half of the performance is a re-performance of Roy Cohen, and Roy Cohen was this conservative politician during the McCarthy era who was adamantly against gay rights, and then he died of AIDS-related illnesses.